Now I would request, without wasting any more time, I would request Professor Ankuran Datta to kindly share his views with us. Professor Ankuran Datta, please.
Yeah, very good morning to all of you, and thank you so much, Dr. Tanu. So it is such a sunny morning, Sunday morning, and for all of us, and I was really happy to be a part of this particular session, and I would like to thank Professor Upendra Padhi, who is really very active in organizing this National Media Conclave very successfully last 3 editions. And this 4th edition is an online edition, and definitely it will be of a grand success. And I'm extremely sorry that last time I couldn't attend due to some personal problem. And also my sincere gratitude to Professor Ravindran Gopalan, who is the chair of this session, and my senior colleagues, esteemed colleagues, Professor Biplab Lohar Chaudhary and Professor Kanchan Malik, and I have seen that Professor Binod Pawarala is also attending this session. So thank you so much, and all the delegates in the National Media Conclave 2020. Ravindran Gopalan sir has already mentioned about lots of issues on the social movement, and also the reference of Ramanujan, and Professor Biplab Lohar Chaudhary has also mentioned about efforts of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and he has also mentioned about the views of Professor Amartya Sen in his Argumentative Indian. I'm not going into that social movement thing, but I would like to share something from my own experience, that is at the initial stage of my lecture, and later on I would like to say a few things about community video, how community video can be utilized for the advocacy purpose, or for not advocacy. I don't want to use the term advocacy, but for social change as a tool, a very effective tool of social change, because I hope that Professor Malik will speak about the role of community radio. So I have chosen community video this time.
Thank you.
So number one, that I am actively associated in last 5 years in a social movement called Stop Medical Terrorism. So it is a movement that I'm very happy that Dr. Tanu has already mentioned in the introduction. So I don't know whether it is successful or not, but we have been trying to create an awareness among the people about the, I don't want to use the term medical negligence, but I always use the term medical terrorism. And I have lots of justification. There was lots of criticism all over the country when I use the term medical terrorism, but I'm stick on that particular stand. Means I'm in that stand that I do not want to change the word medical terrorism. And we have noticed that there lots of medical terrorism cases are going on. It's an everyday. Being an activist in one sense, not as an academic. So being an activist, I receive minimum 2 to 3 calls every day, which is very much related to medical terrorism. But for last 3 years, more than 3 years, we have also been working on another very related issue, that is right to health as a fundamental right. So in the Constitution of India, we have the Article 21 that says that we right to live with dignity, but we do not have any kind of provision of right to health. Right to education was also not there earlier in the Constitution, but after 89th Amendment of the Constitution, right to education now became a fundamental right under Article 21A. So we demand that Article 21B should be the right to health. And we have noticed the situation during this pandemic, the entire situation, health scenario, we have already noticed. And that was, I mentioned several times, if there is any epidemic, then India will suffer a lot, because we do not have that kind of 3S, that is space, stuff, and also the infrastructure. Basically, we do not have that infrastructure. We do not have the manpower, human resources. And we have lots of other problems. I don't want to discuss more on that, because if I start talking on this particular issue, then it will take lots of time, and it is not possible now. Secondly, during this COVID time, so what we have noticed that there are lots of information disorder. Means I have mentioned several times that I do not want to use the term fake news. News cannot be fake. So there is an editorial intervention always, right? So this is my personal opinion that news cannot be fake, but news. There are lots of information disorder, and under information disorder, there are misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. So to create an awareness, because if we notice about, although we have around 600 million active social media users in the country, but we have just noticed that not only 60 crore or 70 crore people have that connectivity, but their family members are also associated. In that case, nearly 100 crore out of 135 crore, at least 100 to 110 crore people are actively using social media. So and if we go through the usage behavior of social media, then we can notice that some of the people are homo digitalis, some are prosumers, some are very active users, and some are the newly digitally literate people. We are more conscious about the newly digitally literate people. And I repeatedly say that the misinformation do not come only from the dark corner of the internet. Many known people, the prosumers and the homo digitalis, also use misinformation, disinformation for several vested interests. Some of the people have very what I can say, they want more likes in their posts, they more emojis in their posts. That is the only intention to share one misinformation during COVID period. So we launched a program called a campaign, basically. I think that is the only organized months-long campaign in the entire world. That is hashtag Check the Fake, to create an awareness on COVID-19, misinformation on COVID-19, and that was actually in the month of April, from 1st April to the 30th of April, we ran that particular program, and there were two protagonists. One is the infodemic, other is the pandemic. So two cartoon characters. We played with entire campaign with two cartoon characters. So we have noticed that we tried to create an awareness on this particular issue, but let me just say a few words, because we are, I think, running behind the schedule. So I would like to say a few things about community video. Professor Kanchan Malik will definitely speak about the community radio scenario and how community radio can help in this social change movement in the entire country and in the South Asian region. But community video is also another similar kind of community media tool that is very much used for the communication for development or communication for social and behavioral change. And we have also noticed that many community video initiatives have been taken in the in this country, but at this moment we haven't seen that community videos are very effectively used by many organizations. But there was a golden period in the 90s, particularly, or in last almost 1.5 decades. Lots of community video initiatives were started by different organizations. So the participatory video or community video, mainly it was started with the FOGO process in Canada. And also in India, if we notice that KEDA project was the first initiation for the community video. In the project, which was launched in 1975, and 607 community television sets have been installed in 443 villages of KEDA district of Gujarat. That was the initiation of a community video. It is not exactly like participatory or community video, we cannot say, but it was a participatory nature was there. So there was one organization called Center for Development of Instructional Technology, Candid, who also initiated to produce some community videos. But later in the year 1984, Seva Video Seva, based in Gujarat. So they started with giving the technological training to the grassroots level people, and advocacy, the rural development remained as a center concept from its very inception of Video Seva. Drishti is another organization based in Ahmedabad, and it was founded in 1993 by a team of media professionals eager to use their skills and passion to cultivate awareness of gender justice, grassroots development, and human rights in India. Another very important organization is Video Volunteers. So video volunteers have been working in this sector for almost for more than 2 decades, and they have trained lots of community producers so far, and they have thousands of online viewers and who attended lots of community programs, screening programs. Another very important organization is called Digital Greens. Digital Greens also have been working with many organizations, many farming communities in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, etc. And they produce more than 20 videos in more than 20 languages. Deccan Development Society is another Hyderabad-based organization, and I'm happy that Professor Malik and Professor Pawarala is also associated with DDS, which was actually they started the video workshop with the rural women since January 1998. Apna TV is another organization. Khobore Amra is another organization based in Kolkata. Then Hamaro Raiba is another organization based in Himalayan. It is actually started by Himalayan Institute of Hospital Trust in Dehradun. Then Madhyam Praja is also based in Godabari district of Andhra Pradesh. Then Apna Malik Ma is another organization based in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, which was in 2006. And Aina is an organization based in Delhi who started the community video. So I have a long list of organizations who started community video in this country. But I'm not going to discuss in detail, but there are many approaches exist in the producing community videos in India. The approach of video volunteer is more activist kind of in nature than a participatory. Of course, they have the participatory approach. On the other hand, Digital Greens approach is more participatory based on co-learning objectives. So when I notice about the approaches of Drishti, it is they have the intervention of the community people while developing the concept and also in the community research, and finally writing the script and storyboarding also they have the intervention of the community people. But in Digital Greens the approach is a little bit different. They have basically 3 stages of initiation, production, and diffusion. In the initiation, they have the mobilization and the situational analysis, then capacity enrichment. These are the part in the initiation part, and in the production part also they have content, then identification, storyboarding, shooting, editing, etc. And finally in the diffusion, dissemination, adoption, and reporting, and the feedback mechanism is also there, which is a circular kind of process. So video volunteers actually their approach is quite innovative, that they have the community video units who produces a community video unit produces the video magazine every 8 weeks on different social issues, and they are also engaged with lots of slum or basti areas in different parts of the country. And another organization called Inside Share, which is based in UK. So they have also been working. I just forgot to inform you about that. They have been working in Khasi Hills and Garo Hills in Meghalaya, and lots of other organizations are working on that. So I just tried to, yes, I will just complete within 2 minutes time.
I hate to do this, but I have to.
Okay, sure. From the existing approaches of the community video production in the country, so I have I tried to develop 5 models on the existing practices. The first model is activism for development, and for activism for development in this particular model, there is a very circular kind of model how they use the videos for the development purpose, and they use the videos for the activism or advocacy, so that the development can be visible in this entire process. There is another model called model of co-learning, that is participation for community empowerment. In this particular model, the community members also learn from their peers. Okay, from one farmer, for example, he has been learning from another farmer on a good practice. So this is the model for community co-learning. And there is another model of establishing identity, model of development process archiving, that is also very important, and access to information. So these are a few very brief idea about the community video, because lots of researches have been carried out on community radio in the last 1 decade or 1.5 decades. So, but unfortunately, community video is neglected in that case in the community media. So that is why I wanted to introduce for some new learners or researchers, that they can also work on this community video, and how community video can change, how community video can be used as a social change tool in the society. Thank you so much again for giving me this opportunity.